Hey everybody, Tire Metalhead Weatherman here. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Hopefully everyone's had a good weekend. I ended up having a pretty good one, especially considering I got family that came into town impromptu. So cool way to celebrate my birthday weekend. So shout out to them, of course, and shout out to everybody who's stuck around up to this point through the quiet times. But business is actually looking to pick up, so make sure you're hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button because here we go. So I've been kind of talking on and off about this little area over here towards the tropics, and now things have begun to get more interesting as now we have a 50% chance of development within the next 7 days. Still not a guarantee. I've seen plenty of areas like this pretty much flop, but if we look on satellite here, we do see a little bit of evidence of not necessarily activity, but maybe some potential convection. I do think right now there's still a little bit too much wind shear currently in this area for things to develop, but I do see that beginning to change here from when we look at the models. But this is the only area to really look at right now, just to make sure I cover all the ends here. If we look at the Eastern Pacific, nothing to really talk about. Towards Hawaii, nothing to really talk about. If we look over towards other parts of the world, we might be talking a little bit different of the story here. We'll go ahead and do that real. There are a couple of systems right here over towards the Northwest Pacific, but most of these look like they're going to be staying away from land. However, there is an area right here that we're going to be watching, maybe make a close pass to land to a larger population area. Go ahead and zoom in, and this is heading towards the Philippines. This is Tropical Depression 17. These other areas over here, not really expecting a whole lot out of this. There's a couple other disturbances that could really get going here. Of course, model data on that's limited, as well as the difference in the time zone will make this hard to track. So if anything major comes from this, we'll talk about it in another video or in the next tropical outlook. But beyond that, though, back to what we have going on in the Atlantic. Here's another look at our tropical disturbance that we're going to potentially begin to watch here. Right now, there's really nothing to talk about. There's no invest at the moment, but the area of interest is right over here in the Caribbean, of course. Cuba, we'll have to watch, you guys. Maybe even over towards parts of the Hispaniola region, we'll have to watch you as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the model data here. Like I said, right now, a little bit too much in the way of wind shear to really allow this thing to get going here. But as time goes on, we do see that wind shear begin to lighten up just slightly over this area. But where it goes from here is going to be a big question. I mainly think if any sort of land interaction occurs, it's going to be mainly towards Cuba. I don't know if we will see too much in the way of impacts towards the U.S. right now, but it's so far out. It's so hard to tell what's going on here. Then here you go again, seeing that little pocket right here where that wind shear begins to lighten up. If this gets going, where could this go still? I do think towards the Gulf, the wind shear is going to be pretty strong, making it a very difficult environment for any sort of tropical development to get going. But for the most part, I think it's going to mainly stay right within this little region here. So as a result, I'm not expecting anything as far as Florida or the Gulf to be concerned with right now. And then if you just look at how strong the wind shear is from all levels of the atmosphere, from 200 to 850, which is basically the upper level jet all the way to the lower level. We're in the red here, which is well over 50 knots. So that's very unfavorable for tropical development here. So that being said here, let's keep the ball rolling. And what you can see here clearly, from that point onward, nothing I would really be concerned with at the moment. Wind shear starts to even build back towards this region, further kind of indicating the end of hurricane season here. It's not impossible to even get tropical systems beyond the month of November here. It's not unheard of actually even, but this kind of setup is a little bit more difficult. Go ahead and take a look at the ensemble members, and there is a little bit of a pickup on something going on here in the medium range here, so to speak. So this is getting all the way out to 60 hours out. This is that little area of interest that I'm talking about right here. Start to see that little bit of change in coloration on the model, and then it brightens up even more as we get to 100 hours plus out. And then for the most part, like I said, it's really kind of favoring over towards Cuba, maybe more so towards Hispaniola, maybe towards Dominican Republic, Haiti even possibly. And really the question will be, where will that center of low pressure begin to form here, and where will it go from this point? From that point, really not seeing anything that indicates a US impact. The closest one, and this is kind of bullish at this point, is just heading right into this strait between the Yucatan and Cuba here. But this is all the way towards the end of the model run. You know what we always say here on the channel as far as that's concerned. So not really a lot to be concerned with in the near term, but still something worth keeping an eye on, especially if you're over towards the Caribbean itself. If you're planning on taking a little quick vacation there, definitely just be on the lookout more or less than anything else. But that's really all I got for you on this tropical outlook. Everywhere else right now just seems like it's going to be pretty quiet for the most part. So we'll be talking more about the temperatures ahead, more so tomorrow and into Tuesday. But until then, thanks for watching, you guys. Appreciate you again. You know what to do. Smash that like button, obliterate that subscribe button, and definitely hit up that share button as well. See you guys soon. It's been Tyler, Metalhead Weatherman. Take care and have a good night.